YouTube heads? Travel Wolves in the building. All right. What's up out there? What's out there, YouTube heads? Travel Wolves in the building. So what we're going to do real quick today is we're going to talk about a recent rant that's been going viral. Black women are crying. It's unfair. Black women are crying. It's unfair that black men they found undesirable in America are going overseas and getting dates. We're going to talk about her and her critique. I'm going to talk about some things, my thoughts about her critique, and also I'm going to say why she's wrong about a few things. She's very wrong, but let me go ahead and play the video for you guys. Shout out the African Diaspora channel for sharing this clip. Shout out the African Diaspora channel. Diaspora, I might be saying that incorrect. Diaspora channel for sharing this clip. My man Phil Scott. I think that's the name of his channel, but it's going viral, so we're gonna share it with you real quick. Give me 1 second, let me cue it up. Okay. So let's go and get this going here real quick. Let's listen to her criticism right here. So this is a black woman crying about, she came to Thailand and she got here and all of a sudden, she sees a dozen black men, probably a dozen or 2 dozen black men out here dating, and it fucking blows her mind. She loses her shit. And so she starts going on this rant about it. We're going to listen to the rant. Also, if you want to comment on this, you have to become a member to comment. And also, if you want to contribute to the channel, you got the Cash App, which is Leave Feedback, and you got the PayPal, which is paypal.me/the Travel WILF. Travel WILF. If you want to contribute to the channel. So let's go ahead and play this rant for you guys.
Some of these Thai girls, honey. Well, they all out here getting Thai girls. But you can tell it's lopsided. And what I mean by lopsided, you can tell those girls be too pretty for the men that they be with. Black or white. You looking like, girl, what you going on? But I get it though, But you do see beautiful couples here too. But I be looking like y'all came all the way out here to get yourself a Thai girl, which is fine because the Thai girls are beautiful. But it just be looking so weird because some of these girls be so beautiful and the guys be like monsters. like they be looking like straight Fat Albert and Freddy Krueger mixed together, and they be having this supermodel looking Thai girl. I'd be like, girl, ain't that much money in the world. But maybe it is. Maybe it's true love. I ain't here to judge. And if it wasn't true love, maybe it developed into true love. They say you learn to love people. Maybe some of the American men come out here and treat these women good, but it ain't even just Americans. The white guys, there's Australians, Russians, people from Singapore, Canadians. They all be having their Thai girls. All love it. When the brothers see me, they be looking at me like I'm a judge them. Like I'd be like, I see you.
Okay, it just started raining here, so.
Hey, brother, do your thing. Tell you something. You're gonna miss us, okay? If you used to date black women and you stopped dating black women, there's a bunch of beautiful women out there with beautiful personalities. But if you stop dating us, when you see us, when they see us, you gonna miss us.
Ma'am.
Okay, so we're gonna stop that right here. So sorry for the little interruption. It just started raining really hard here, so you may have a little bit of problems with the connection. So bear with me. Listen, I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head in disbelief because I've seen a lot of rants from Black women about traveling and men going overseas because they can't date in America. They can't date properly in America. And I know it's not just confined to Black women. So, but I'm going to talk about it from the perspective that really is important and interesting to me, right? So, first off, her rant, that was the most terrible rant I've ever seen in my life. That was the worst one. And I'm gonna hit all the points. Let me make sure. Let me make some notes real quick because when I get too deep in thought, I always forget to hit all the points. So the first point we're gonna talk about is we're gonna talk about how she willfully contradicted herself. Okay, so she willfully contradicted herself. Willful contradictions. Okay. Second, we're going to talk about how Black women hate every man. I mean, Black women find every man unattractive. I mean, well, every Black man. They find every Black man unattractive, right? So we're going to talk about that. Like every man. Find every Black man unattractive. Okay, let's just be honest with that. And then we're going to talk about, how it's just a lot of, we're going to talk about how attractiveness is not a measure of a successful relationship. And most people don't understand that. Okay. And then we're going to talk about, finally, we're going to talk about why are we here? Why are we here? Why am I in this country? Why have I been in several countries in the last few months? I would love to be at home. I would love to take a woman out to the movies and dinner and all, but they don't even want to go to Applebee's. They don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, right? No matter how attractive you are, they're not going to those places with you, right? So, okay, so let's just get this going here. Now, fair warning, I'm red pill, so I gotta be red pill. There's no other way to discuss this without me being red pill about it. So let's get it going. First off, she has several woeful contradictions. Okay, and that's probably due to the fact that she's not a man. Okay, now I'm not sure if she's taking trips by herself, but the first thing we got to start asking these women who have these rants about relationships and what Black men are doing and not doing is: Are you married? Are you married? Do you have a boyfriend? Okay, the first two questions we need to ask. You can't even maintain, like, let me be honest with you. I feel that the easiest thing in the world to do is to be in a relationship with someone. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. It doesn't require much. It's probably easier than taking a shit. But people complicate it with what other people think, not what they need, what other people think. They complicate it with commitment, and they complicate it with false expectations, appearance reality, aka fear. All right. So there's a lot of contradictions in what she said. First off, who is she to say what type of men are attractive or desirable or lopsided or anything like that? That's what we call subjective, very subjective. She's obviously not that very educated. I always say this: Black women are not the most educated in the world. I mean, no, let me change that. They are not the most knowledgeable in the world, right? They pursue education, but they don't get knowledge. If she had got knowledge, she would know that attraction cannot be measured. Attraction, like gravity, are the two things in the universe that cannot be measured. Nobody understands why they work. They just work. Attraction just works. Gravity just works. Gravity just works. Nobody can figure out why it works. Attraction, nobody can figure out why it just works, right? So What's really lopsided is a double standard. You have fat women who's supposed to be desirable. So how is that even possible if fat men aren't desirable? That's lopsided right there. That's a double standard. So let's just be honest. Based on what she's saying, unattractive women are never going to get a man because it's going to be lopsided, right? So only a smaller group of attractive women are going to get a man that's attractive. You see how that doesn't even make any sense? It's a contradiction. Now, my personal opinion is that she's not a hottie tamati. She's not like super attractive herself, but yet she's projecting and she's trying to shame all these women and say, "Hey, you could do better. You could do better." But it could be possible that every other woman on the planet, except for the African American women, they actually get what's important in a relationship and in the man. They actually get what's important. Okay, and it has nothing to do with looks. Which is again doesn't make any sense you would say that. But I noticed that because I've been hearing this for like 10 years, and I have to say, as a red pill person, I think that black women think every African American man is ugly. They don't. There's no handsome man for them. Like there's this guy that walks around who's 6'9", but they really are only attracted to him because he's tall. If there's even such a thing, if there's even such a thing as being attracted to a man purely because he's tall, like, where did that come from? Like, I can't give away all the game, but when you think about being a provider, right? Money got to be made, houses got to be established, households got to be ran. Like, it's a man has to be with this family unit for 60 years of his life. How does being tall help him do that? How does his face help him do that? How does his physique help him do that? Y'all can make me understand. I'll concede everything, but that's not what any of those things don't make you do that. First off, the man has to want to even be willing to stick around. He has to want to be there for 60 years or whatever, however many years it's going to take to be a part of that family unit. And again, none of those things are impacted by anything that. So I can't get into why women focus on those things. It's like a. I don't want to say. It's an irony to it that they're focusing on the wrong things. But we can say this, right? We can say this. Let's say this. All the women who wanna date in their league, why are you not married? Why are you still single? You have ex-boyfriends, right? So obviously you went through the phase. Okay, he looks good. People are gonna respect me because I'm dating someone in my league. Then you get to the next phase. Maybe he passed that phase. And I'll tell you what the phases are for women. I know what they are. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. Just what you gotta get knowledge. But usually by the third phase is when he fucking fails. He definitely fails the fourth phase. And he definitely fails the fifth phase. Very few of them get to the fifth phase. And that's because of, it is true that the few 0% of men that they consider attractive get 99% of the women. So with that being said, it doesn't work for her because he has way more options. A man that they find attractive has way more options than she does. And because women, their psychology, their brain psychology does not allow them to be red pill, they can never understand that. Even though the divorce is high, uh, partner, what they call it, partner and partner violence is high. Infidelity is high among the most so-called well put together couples, balanced couples, physically balanced couples, the way they look, the way he looks, right? Because he has so many more options. A woman realistically can only have maybe one, two bodies on her. I roll my eyes because we know it's way more than that. But realistically, one, because let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. This is some bullshit that women create. the first person who takes their virginity, he's not attractive. He damn sure ain't tall. He damn sure ain't on the basketball team in junior high or high school. So they adjust to this standard over time. So they start off without having any standards. Then they develop the standards, and they just keep trying to go one guy to the next guy that at least meets the visibility standard. And each time that fails, they just say, "I'll do better next time." But you can't if you can't win when you're not paying attention to the other 99 things that make up a man. There are 100 things that make up a man. Visual appearance is probably like the lowest one on the list. It can't be the top one on the list. So that's the first thing. She got a lot of willful confidence. I would tell her, who does she think she is saying that a relationship is lopsided? Because let me tell you, not to really generalize, but you don't really know the woman's story. So maybe it's lopsided the other way. Maybe the man that she's with has more integrity, has less baggage, has more things going on, more things put together for himself. Maybe it is lopsided, but it's not lopsided for the woman. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is why I gotta write things down because I'll be forgetting. I already said that. I personally think right now in this era, black women black women under the age of black women 30 and under, I personally think that they just find every man unattractive, especially black men. They just find you unattractive. What happens is they do eventually settle. They do, but usually it's after the loneliness sets in because they got the nature aspect that comes that goes. They got the motherhood thing that comes that goes. Right around when the children are about teenagers and they're starting to find their own way in the world, now the loneliness aspect kicks in. So you figure if they hold out to 30 to have a kid, then they just have a kid. You figure around 44. So around 44, that's when they come around. Because we can literally add math to this. We can literally add math to this all day. And it's not just me saying this, right? This is knowledge. This is scholastic knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is scholastic knowledge that you can look up and learn about. A lot of papers been written on this. A lot of data that nobody's going to tell you. Because see, nobody wants you to really win the game. Nobody really wants to give you the cheat code, the hack code, the way to win the game. I can give you that. I'm just not going to do it because I want to do it for free. I mean, it's going to cost you some money. See, if you consult with me, you're consulting with me on how to win the game. Like I win the game. I got a girl right now. Let me tell you how I won the game in Thailand. And this ain't the first time. This is my third time here. I've been here 3 times. The first time I got here, I was having I guess I don't want to generalize, but let's just say I was having a extreme relationship with a woman that wasn't transactional. Okay, no cost to me at all. The second time I was here, same situation. I had 2 girls I was in extreme relationships with at the same time, and it didn't cost me anything. And it was crazy because the second one that I met was literally like 2 weeks before I left. And what happened was, she was coming around every day, and I couldn't even make time to see the other one because she had me in a headlock. So I had to lie to her one night and tell her I was going to be in Bangkok for the night so that the other one could come and see me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and now the third time that I'm here, I got that again. Since last Sunday, I have been in an extreme relationship with a woman. I just met her. It's only been a week, really. Seems like longer than that, but it's really only been a week. And she took one night off last week. She took Tuesday off, but Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, extreme relationship. at no cost to me. She likes to drink. I buy a bottle, get the ice, get the Coke, and chilling in the crib. I haven't even taken her out on a real date. I was supposed to take her out on a real date tomorrow because she's earned it. Me being me, hold on a minute. Let me show you. Let me show you how much of a lover boy I am. Because I really am. I really am a lover boy. But she's earned it. Because she's earned it. Me being me, because, you know, she likes to drink coffee. She likes to drink coffee. I got her something from Starbucks. I got her a gift. So when she comes by tonight, I brought her a gift. Okay? Nice little gift, for her. Coffee drinker. You know what I'm saying? It goes a long way. It goes a long way. But so if you want to learn how to come to these countries and win, and this ain't the first country that I've been to where I had an extreme relationship that didn't really require much of me other than being available. If you want to learn how to win, consult with me. I'll show you how to win this. But most people don't really want you to win this. They tell you to run free, but that ain't nothing new. They just tell you, hey, go run free. But they don't really want you to win this. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really winning it. As you can see, the criticism is brutal. You know? Oh shit. Hold on. I'm talking all this shit. Oh shit. Damn it. Uh-oh. We got a problem. Oh, fuck me. Oh, you know what? Okay. I think it's in my room. I hope it's in my room. I'm talking all this shit. I think I lost something too. But anyway, yeah. So let's go on to the next topic. No, I think I lost. Oh, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. It's in my room probably. I hope it is. Oh man. Okay. So the next point is, again, like I said before, attractiveness is not a measure of the relationship. There's no such thing as attractiveness. Let's just do that out there. Um, Only men can appreciate beauty standards, and most men have various beauty standards. I think you can agree, right? You got a lot of dudes that are part of the IDF crew. I don't give a right. They down with anybody, and then a lot of them say, "I like who likes me." Right? I like who likes me. So a lot of men have unique beauty standards for women. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And I think personally, only men can have beauty standards because beauty standards don't mean anything to us. There's a couple of things that only men can do in the world. Only men can become wealthy from nothing. Men can have nothing and become wealthy. A guy could be out here in the rain in this cardboard box, be fed up with being out here, hungry, dirty, wet, cold, have an idea, have a spark, monetize that shit, turn that shit into something that makes him a billionaire. And only men can have a beauty standard because we're not really we're not really pitching. Like you got guys that do the whole rizzle thing, right? They walk up to a girl. I don't know why. They walk up to a girl and they try to do what they call the rizzle. They go and they try to meet her in 100 different ways. I've seen it all. Compliments. I mean, I haven't seen any creative ones, right? I've seen the basic ones. Like, you're only the 1,000th guy in her life to tell her she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She already knows that. You might be better off just saying, hey, you want to fuck? You ever think about that? you know? Um, but guys go to a woman and they pitch her and they get rejected. Now, why are you doing that? Why are you still doing that in America? You had like let's go back to this guy that's just tall. No shade on him. Let's go back to the guy that's tall. All he does is stand out there and women walk up to him, right? Because he's tall, right? So women walk up to him and they say, hi, how are you? Oh my God, yeah, oh my God, you're so tall, oh my God. Right? He ain't pitching nobody. Now, you may say to yourself, well, he can do that because he's tall, but that's not what's being observed. What's being observed is that women have it within them to come up and talk to you if they want to. Now, how do you make them do that? Okay, now I'm not going to help you with that. I'm not going to help you with that either. So, because I could definitely help these guys with the rizzle part. I could definitely help you with the cold approach. Not going to do that either because you don't know how to do it and you're relying on your attractiveness. But let me tell you something: women have more attractive men in their phone than you, in their DMs than you. They at in this first, think of the game as a relay race, right? Think of the game as a relay race, right? Well, the dating game anyway. In America, why are you still playing it? I don't know. But if you're gonna play it, understand what it is. It's a relay race. In the first leg of the race, they are the strongest runners. Women are the strongest runners, right? They do all the deciding. They do all the deciding. You have no power, none at all. So you're wasting your time walking up and talking to them when you know they can walk up and talk to you. You have to find a way to make them do that because I'm not going to help you. I could help you, but I'm not. But they have all that power. Okay. Now the second leg of the race is where you get the pace runner, I believe. Now you come in. The second leg is all you. It's all you, buddy. And so is the third leg, and guess what? So is the fourth leg. But the first leg, because women control the dynamic of sexual interaction, they decide. They decide quick too. They decide super quick over a bunch of stuff. Like it could be your shoes, it could be the way you smell, it could be if you got locks or you don't got locks, it could be your glasses, it could be your teeth, it could be a bunch of different things. But they decide quick. It could be your skin complexion. You have to be able to. I give some of these guys this tip. You have to be able to read women. You have to be able to read if you are even her type. And if you can't understand that, then you're always gonna fail. It's not a numbers game anymore. She got the numbers. She got the numbers. So it's not a numbers game anymore. That's a little bit dated to say that. It's are you even her type? Do you even know what her type is? And maybe sometimes you might be better off. I'll give you another hint, and that's it. Sometimes you might even be better off when you cold approach, leading it with that fucking question. It's real simple. Hey, am I even your type? And she'll go, or she'll go. And you know why that's such an important thing to do and such an important aspect is because a question is one of the ways you build rapport with a person. They're going to give you information that's useful to you, and you can say face better because it's not just like you had a shortcoming. You're just not her type. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little hint. But anyway, um, the last thing we're going to talk about why are we here? Why am I here? Why am I thousands and thousands of miles away from my home, away from my beautiful room and my beautiful bed and my beautiful home? Why am I that? Why have I been out of my house since May? I haven't been home since May. Man. And next month I go to my other country, which is why I gotta find my passport. And I hope I didn't drop it because I took it out the room. And I usually keep it there, but I don't see it. So it's probably where I left it at in the room. Okay, so I think I was just looking at it yesterday. Yeah, I was looking at it yesterday. So why are we here? Well, we are here because a lot of you men refuse to be honest and tell the truth. You're not dating in America. You're not dating in America. More importantly, you're not able to date the type of woman you think you deserve, even though those women are out of your league in America. So here you go again, right? You want to date a really attractive woman, you can't do it in America. So you're not dating, and you're not dating a really attractive woman. Okay? The third thing is you probably can't afford to date. A lot of you also can't afford to travel. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. A lot of you can't even afford to travel, so you can't afford to date, and you can't afford to travel. We're gonna talk about that. that's just nasty work right there. Um, but that's why we here, right? And again, more red pill breaking news for you. There is no dating in America. Dating is dead. It's over with. What's going to happen is you're going to be used for a meal and you're going to feed someone else's kids. And like, I'll be honest with you, you might even just get stood up. It's so non-existent that you can make a date. If you get that far to make plans for a Thursday night or a Friday night, because if you ain't been fucking the whole week, guess what? You're not gonna get her Saturday night. Just understand that. I didn't even get a Saturday night. She went out Saturday night because she wanted to see what her options were. And then the whole time she's texting me and calling me and texting me and calling me. And I'm like, this is kind of weird because I'm trying to get the next one over. And then she hits me up in the morning and she's like, I'm coming. And I'm like, okay. 5 a.m. she's coming. So you're not gonna get the Saturday night unless and let me and I was hitting all week. I was hitting Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got the Friday night. I didn't get the Saturday night. So I was telling you, even when you're doing it right, you might not still get the Saturday night. So you might even get stood up. I'll tell you this is how you know you're gonna get stood up. If your dinner date is any day between Sunday and Thursday, you're gonna get stood up. don't even show up. Don't even bother putting gas in your car or showering or putting on cologne until she calls you and says, "Hey, I'm at the restaurant. Where are you? Oh, you know what? Oh man, I'm in traffic. Oh, my mama had something I had to do. Oh, you know what? Okay, bet I'll be there in like 25 minutes. I'm coming. I'll be there in 25 minutes." Then you shower and you put on your cologne and you gas up. And then you go out. Why did y'all go out to the restaurant and be sitting there like this? And then 15 minutes, 30 minutes go by. Then maybe you might text her and say, "Hey, I'm here." Some corny shit like that. And you get left on read. Like, come on, man. Listen, I'm trying to tell you right now. But if she does show up, she's just showing up for the food. Remember, it was women who said this. Women are telling you who they are, right? I'm just here for the food. I'm just here for the food. I'm just here because I want to eat at this nice restaurant. They're telling you who they are. Believe them. And then it's not a lie. They want food for their kids. Hey, can my kids get a to-go bag, a doggy bag? Can my kids get the leftovers? Listen, they do that in Colombia. They do that in DR. Okay, so they still do that in other countries as well. Don't just think it's just strictly an American thing. And a lot of you guys would go to Colombia and say it's okay down there because she's beautiful, but in America you won't say it's okay. So this is what's going on in America. I'm not even going to get into the fact that a lot of men at this point, pretty much most of the men in America, are involuntary celibates or incels. Right? That's most men in America. You're incels. But again, nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to know these things because it's uncomfortable. But like I said, if we don't get into a World War III anytime soon, expect in the next 10 to 14 years, which is my nephew's generation, because I see what my nephew is going through right now. Expect that generation will start a men's rights movement. And it's going to be brutal. It's going to be totalitarianism. It's going to be like the Handmaid's Tale. Because it's gotten so obnoxiously out of control. Okay, and there's going to be a huge group of women who are just what's the word, spinsters. Okay, it's going to be a huge demographic of women who are just spinsters, and all they're going to do is talk about, I got a master's degree, I got a PhD, and they have no knowledge. They won't have no knowledge of sociology to solve the problem that is going to come from the men's rights movement. Because the reason why we have to have a world war is because some men have to be culled. That's what the world wars and all the wars were for. All the wars, World War One, Two, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, those wars were to cull the male population. Okay? So you don't have these type of uprisings. Got too many restless men, and the women are just on some shit. They on TikTok, dancing. Everyone's a stripper or an OnlyFans model. Everyone's going to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, that's where all this is heading. And now they're trying. And now I'll be honest with you, why you see these rants from black women is because they know that black women get the most attention when they start crying about something, and people act, and they're really trying to shut the shit down. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. Shut the shit down because it's not really like you're winning the game. The game's just changed, and I'm really starting to see a lot of Western standards coming overseas to all these countries. A lot of Western beauty standards for men and things like that are coming overseas to these other countries. And let me tell you something. With the exception of African American men, these guys are not going to have it. Chinese dudes run their country. The Koreans run their country. The Japanese men run. All these men, the Arabs, the Indians, they run their country. So they're not about to go with, the so-called pleasure places being defined and judged by American beauty standards. Like I look around and I say to myself, what the hell? What the hell is this NFL linebacker dude doing? Sometimes I gotta say that. I'll be like, what the hell? He can't get women. What's going on? But it's not really like that. It's really that bad. The so-called attractive men can't even get women in America anymore. It's that bad. The only guy who's probably getting women in America and getting dates is the dude that's tall. The dude's King 6'9". He's probably the only one getting women. And I think there was a guy that came out that was 7 feet taller than him, and he was getting ignored one night. It was funny as fuck. Yeah, it was funny as fuck. So they already made it clear. If you're not 6'3", if you're not making, I'm just gonna say 500,000 a year. I'm just gonna keep it realistic because that quarter of a million is bullshit. A quarter of a million is nothing. A quarter of a million is achoo. That's nothing money. You sneeze at that money. I'm just gonna say a half a mil, 500,000. Let's put a respectable. The people keep saying six figures, six figures. What is that? There's 7 figures, right? There's 8 figures. There's 9 figures. There's 10 figures. 6 figures is where most men from the top 25 to 26 highest rated universities and colleges, that's where they start off at in their economic career, in their professional career economically. That's where they start off at in the 6-figure range. The world just don't want you to know this though. So a man doesn't get out of college and rise to 250,000 a year. He gets out of college already making 250,000 a year, and then he gets into a million, and a million point two, and a million point three, and so on and so on. Okay, then he gets into all kinds of different business ownership. He makes the right investments. Then he gains enough assets to be considered a multimillionaire. These are the facts, but they don't want you to know about it. They keeping you in TikTok dances, talking about slavery for the thousandth time, not making no sense about it. And I hate to say it, but they keep trying to solve this. Well, at least in America, they keep trying to solve the race problem, which we know is an abysmal thing to tackle because they don't really want to solve it. So this is where they did for America. This is where they keeping you at because all of this shit coming from America. Women in Europe don't think about those things that American women claim. And let's be honest, we know women don't really want money. I'll tell you the truth again, as a red pill. Women don't really want money. They want to control you. That's what they want. They want to control you, like a video game. Okay, they want to be able to play you. That's what they want. If they think they can play you, good. If they don't think they can play you, get on out of here, man. Go on, get out of here. That's what they really want. Okay, they will, quote unquote. Well, most of them have already. Like, I give you a perfect example. I think I told you guys a story yesterday. It was a very successful man. It was a girl who was poor, and the man who took her virginity, her boyfriend, he was poor like her. Her family said they wanted the man to marry their daughter, and they gave him her hand. I think they're Nigerian. The man is completely successful. He got a lot of money. He got her a place to live, put her in school, so she's going to school to become a nurse. Did all that, right? Obviously, he's a businessman, international businessman, some type of thing like that. So he's got to travel, do different things. While he's away, he's sending her money. She moves the guy who took her virginity, her first love. She moves him in to the apartment that he got for her. She takes care of him with the money he sends her. Matter of fact, she even used some of the money to send him to school so that he can go get a trade license and develop his abilities as well. Now she finishes nursing school and he brings her to America. They move to America, like it's America. Gets her paperwork sponsored and everything. Once she gets her citizenship, she then secretly sponsors her first love to come over. Okay? Now this guy, the first love, he had nothing. She didn't care. She knew how her heart felt. Which is real. Which is real. And that's really what it is. So you gotta remember that some of these people on the TikToks and all these different women on the TikToks, they've been lying. They've been lying to you about what women really want. Women don't even really want money. Women don't even really want height. Those things are just a cheap competition. Okay, it's a cheap competition that women are in because motherhood hits, that should go out. Now they're competing to be the best mom. So that should go out the window. Oh, I got this guy. Oh, and like we know for a fact, no real established man who has options wants to be committed to one woman. I personally don't think you should date one woman anywhere you travel. You should have multiple women. You should date multiple women, man. You should have multiple girlfriends. I'm trying to add another one to my stables right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to add another one to my stables. Why should I? They trying to add me to their stable. You know what I'm saying? So why shouldn't I? I got cut off there. If you like tonight's content and you want to contribute to the channel, hit the Cash App, leave feedback, hit the PayPal, paypal.me/the travel, WILF. Everything's in the chat and below. If you want to comment, you got to become a member. Sometimes when I do videos, you got to become a member. Now, I will be dropping I will be dropping something very interesting with the help of ChatGPT. It's going to talk about um, the tiers of dating. Okay, because there is a dating hierarchy here. I'm not going to get into the specifics of the country, but there is a dating hierarchy here. So I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be a members only video. It's going to be very helpful to you if you're planning on coming here and you want to know what's going on. I'm going to do one for all the countries so you can kind of have a better game aspect of what you're walking into. Again, I speak for the new guys. The guys who have never been anywhere before. This may be your first country. This may be your second country. You know, man, I really got to check this out because I'm really concerned. Too much going on. But anyway, yeah. So I'm really speaking to you guys. Okay. Um. Damn. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing next. A couple of member only videos. So let me get back to let me talk about what I really feel about this. What I really feel about this TikTok and everything like that. What I really feel. Um, she's wrong about a couple of things. You don't get here and everybody just falls here and it's like the Beatles. Now it can't error. More than one ingestion is using primary URL. What does that mean? More than one ingestion is using primary URL. What does that mean? Man, something you wanting me to talk. Okay, we back. Man, something just don't be wanting me to talk. I tell you. So we got 16 in the live. Get the likes up. We got 16 in the live. All right. So you just don't get here the first time and it's rocking like the Beatles. You don't really get to anywhere and it's rocking like the Beatles. That means like when I say rocking like the Beatles, it's like everybody, all the women are at the airport and they're like, I love you. You know, they're just shaking their head and they're fainting and they're like, oh my God. You know, they're doing all that. That doesn't happen the first time you come here. Now, it can happen the second time you come here. It's not going to happen the first time. So she's wrong about a couple of things. And the first thing you got to understand is that you have to have an expense. You have to have an expense to fill through all the options. You know, you got all the options. You got short, skinny, chubby, this one, that one, blonde, black. You got all the options. You got to have an expense to play through all the options to see where you fit in. No pun intended. To see what options jive for you and which ones don't. Right? You got to have that going on, and that can take a long time. And sometimes you might take a loss. You're gonna probably burn through. You're probably gonna burn through a significant portion and realize I got to start all over again. You're going to be like, that was a waste. I got to start all over again. Because in between that, you got the bullshit. You got the hustles and the this and the that, you know. So you're going to have to take a couple of losses. You're going to take a lot of L's. You're going to take a lot of L's before you get that one woman who is beautiful enough for you, is interested enough in you, you have good chemistry with, she's attracted to you. You're gonna have to take a lot of L's before you get there. I took a lot of L's. I ain't even gonna lie. Took a lot of L's. I'm still taking L's. I'm still taking L's right now. I just don't really talk about it. If I told y'all about the L's that I'll be taking, y'all would be like, what? But I don't talk about it because you try to stay above the negative. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at my phone and see if I can find an L or two. Let me see. Look, here go with L right now. Look, here go with L. Here go with L right now. Here go with L right now. I hit her up yesterday, nothing. Crickets. Crickets. I hit her up yesterday, nothing. Crickets. All right. I forgot where I met her at, but I was just hitting, I was hitting up a Saturday night. Crickets. You know what I'm saying? Crickets. And this is what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? You get the look, and this one. Now this one is cute. This one I met. This one is cute. This one I met. She's a stone cold. She's a stone cold 8. Super bad. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. She was kind of mad. I caught her because I really like you. Almost like you wouldn't have seen her, but I was like looking. And I said, "Ooh, she's bad. Who's that? Who's that?" And I walked over there. I stepped to her. I was like, real quick. She was going somewhere. I saw her. She was like about to get on the bike and dip. So I just got her WhatsApp, right? But look, this is cute. This is cute because she turns on her notifications, right? Look at this. Look. You see, that's Monday, September 29th, right? So I say this to her, she hit me back, and then just crickets. Just crickets. See what I'm saying? No reply. But this is what sweating look like. See, you gotta sweat them. Sweat them, man. You gotta sweat them. This is what sweating looks like. I usually, when I see this, I see she's reading it, I'll sweat them. Because I know something's going on. They're doing something. Something's going on. But like I give you another example. Okay, look. Like this is an example of a success. Okay, let me show you an example of a success. Okay, now I already know her, so it's not really that much of a success. But as you can see, I'm sweating. I'm sweating her, right? I'm sweating her, and then boom, she invites me to the movies. You see what I'm saying? I'm sweating her, right? But I got to all of that. But if you see right here at the beginning, it wasn't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going anywhere. You know, it took like I hollered at her on the 22nd. I already know her now. Look, I already know her. We went out before last time I was here. So I saw her again on the 22nd. She hit me back on the 23rd. She was supposed to go with me to the pool villa. I was trying to get her to go with me to the pool villa, but she was playing games. I hit her back on this October 6th. Then that's when we talked. So from the 23rd to October 6th, I didn't sweat her. I sweat her again on the 6th. She's like, "You want to go to a movie?" We went to a movie, and then and then again, I haven't talked to her since then. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. So it's not as like there's a way it should go. There's a way it should go, but it's not going the way that black woman thinks it's going. You know what I mean? So she's wrong about that. Um, Let me see here. Let me see if I can show you one that goes the right way. Let me see. Let me see if I got one that goes the right way. Okay, here goes another one. Now this one is no, I can't show you all of this, but now this one is kind of weird. Let me see. Nah, I can't show you this one, but this one that I was gonna show you, she and me, we have like we met, but then I went with some other girls. Remember the girl that you guys said like Zoe, me and Zoe was out with two girls early in the morning, and you guys said the other girl really liked Zoe, right? I picked those girls over these other two girls, right? So she's kind of like funny about that. So I saw her like weeks later, And then we had a drink at Flex. I saw her. I bought her and her friend or her sister a drink at Flex, And then nothing. Then I just, boom, moved on. Then one night out the blue, she just tries to video call me. You know what I'm saying? She just tries to video call me. But I was busy. I was having sex. I was like, your timing is just bad, man. Your timing is just because I really think she's super cute, but her timing was bad. You know what I'm saying? Um. So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do it how I do it, it's not gonna go that way. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to have a companion. You're trying to have a plus one in the company. You're trying to have a girlfriend. It's going to take a lot of work. As you can see, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, man. And I'm not even going to go into Line. This is just WhatsApp. I'm not even going to go into my Line. My Line is so. Line is another app that you use. My Line is so atrocious. I'm embarrassed to even go in there. I'm embarrassed to go into my Line. Um, yeah, this ain't even going anywhere. What happened to her? Oh, okay. No, that okay. Well, that could have went somewhere. Okay. Unfortunately, my other line has all the real numbers in it, but I can't get into it no more. My other line got all the real numbers in it, and I let it lapse, so I can't get into it anymore. But like I said, she's wrong about that. It's not lopsided because it's too. I know for me it's difficult. So I know for me it's difficult. So it's not lopsided at all. It's very difficult for me. It is. So I would say it's difficult. It, but it does get you the result. So it's kind of like the 80s. I don't know if you dated in the 80s or you had uncles who were adults in the 80s. I had uncles who were adults in the 80s. I was a child, so I know how the 80s went. And it's like dating in the 80s, dating in the 90s, dating in the early 2000s before shit got crazy, before Instagram and Telescope and the other thing. And what was the other app that used to be on Apple a lot? There was Instagram, Telescope, there was Instagram, Periscope, and the other app. What was the other app called? It was like Instagram, but it was only on the iPhone. Um, what was it called? Because when those apps hit, that's when it was over. You know what I'm saying? It was over. That's when the social media clout, the social media proof started. You know. Um, what was it called? I can't remember. I can't remember. Let me see. Hold on. What was it called? Ah, man. Uh, what was that photo app called that was only on iPhone? Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. It was only on iPhone. It was like an Instagram app. It was Periscope and it was something else. Oh man. Oh man. Vine. That was it. Vine. Was it Vine? I think it was Vine. Right? Was it Vine? Vine was only on iPhone, right? I can't remember. But once those apps hit, it was over for us, man. It was over for the because now I don't even want to talk about it like that because it's kind of I can't really say it like that. But the youngest woman you can involve yourself with if you want to have success is a woman who's 34. You should go no lower than 34 if you want to have success. That's the youngest woman you can involve yourself with because under that age, under 34, they literally grew up on the tail end of these social media apps. So understand, right? For a lot of men out there, we slept on these social media apps. So we didn't spend our time building up the following, curating the photos, the lifestyle, any of that stuff. So you have a relatively new social media to young girls who've been on the app since they were like 10. That screams red flag. So in 2010, when they were on the app building their life, and they got way more engagement, way more followers than you, and when they're looking at your socials, like looking at you can't even compete in the DMs because they look at your trust me, let me tell you, they get all your DMs. Don't think they don't get your DMs. They all get your DMs. If you want to believe they don't, if you want to see if they really get your DMs, just send a picture of your yay. And if it's inadequate, they will definitely expose you. So they get all your DMs. But they look at your profile and they only respond to the ones that have a significant presence. And if you don't have a significant presence, if you got a minuscule presence, that screams red flag. Because they're like, wait a minute, what did you just start this yesterday? If you just started this yesterday, what happened to the older one? Why are you on Instagram now? You don't have enough people interested in you, right? That's how they think. That's how this all works. That's how this all comes together. So that's in America. That's in the West. So when you come out here, it's like they in the 80s. It's gonna go, but it's not an absolute. So she's kind of wrong about that. It's not like they just roll it. They just running up to you because you got a couple of bucks in your pocket. Everybody got a couple of bucks in their pocket. It's got to be a little bit more than that. You know what I'm saying? Are you even generous? I would say generosity. Are you generous? And if you're not generous, don't waste your time. You know what I'm saying? If you're not generous, don't waste your time. Um, so she's wrong about that. She's wrong about it being lopsided. She's wrong about looks being the deciding factor. Looks is not the deciding factor. Definitely not. I can tell you that right now. They could care less about that. What they care more about is if you're generous, if you have respect for people, including yourself, and are you just a good natured person? You know, if you're not any of those things, then you're not going to get that far. And that pretty much is true anywhere. You're not going to get that far. I would say in America, you could probably get that far being generous, but because American women have turned into these monsters, these materialistic monsters, but you know what I really want to say, because they turned into that, it's not worth being generous because you're just going to get used. You could keep giving and giving and giving. It's like, okay, what do you expect in return? I'm not going to even say that because I personally think you're wasting your time if you think about dating in America. If you even attempt it, I think you're wasting your time if you talk to any women in America. I wouldn't personally meet anyone. I wouldn't personally want to talk or be interested in any woman in America like ever again. And I think you're wasting your time. If you're stuck there because of economics, and we're going to talk about this, is the perfect time to talk about this most important topic. If you're stuck in America because you can't afford to travel, then you definitely need to come see me. you definitely need to come consult with me because I can help you with that. I can help you solve that problem. But yeah, you shouldn't. You can't afford to travel. Okay, fine. So you know what you should do is you shouldn't try to throw money at the problem in America. No dating, no, don't put your money into clothes or a Hellcat or a fancy apartment. Live modestly, get you a Japanese shit box that's indestructible, and save your money so that you can. Well, I gotta say that's not really gonna help you. Saving your money is not gonna help you, but it would give you a different focus and it give you some discipline. It's definitely more realistic to say if you put away money for the next 10 years, you're going to get out of that cave. It's more realistic to say that. But if you don't put anything away, 10 years from now, you're still going to be stuck in that cave. So, but now, if you want to do it that way, if you want to do it with hyper independence, which is, I think, the detriment of black men, if you want to do it that way, then I can't stop you. But if you really want to get out of that cave without having to take years and years of saving money, if you really want to do it quicker, then you need to come and see me. Come holler at me, get the consultation, take the courses, do all of that. I got a whole plan that you can utilize to get you up out of here. You know, and you should be interested.
Powell stepping down? Nah, he's staying.
You know, you should be interested. You should be interested. Okay, making sure you can hear me. So, but a lot of what we're seeing, as you see right now, like I told you, they're recycling the same shit to you guys. Oh, this guy can't travel. Oh, this guy's a crash out. Oh, this guy left America with $100 in his pocket. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same shit. This shit is so old because they can't solve the problem. They don't even understand the problem. They can't solve it. So all they can do is keep showing you that, guys who can't afford to travel are trying to make it work. But what, a 3-4 day trip? You got a bum on somebody's couch. You're relying on cash apps to eat. You're relying on, like that's what's going on. It's crazy. You gotta go live just to eat. That's what's going on. I don't want to laugh because it's not as funny as it is sad. Like there's a dude, I showed you the dude in the TikTok who's living in his car right now, trying to save up money to come here, and then he lost his job, and it's like, and then he got a job at McDonald's, and he's still trying to save up his money to come here, and it's like you got the wrong priorities, man. You had the wrong priorities. You was making. First off, you didn't even try to like take in a roommate. You didn't even try to Airbnb your place. You could Airbnb your room, right? You didn't even try to do that. You just got rid of the apartment like it was going to save you money, but then you lost the paycheck. That's why I'm telling you guys that saving shit don't work because if you lose the paycheck, there's nothing to save. To be honest with you, if you had enough put away where you could get like a month or two, I would do that. I would say, yo, I'm just gonna go for a month or two. I got enough put away. I'm gonna go for a month or two. I'm not gonna just go back into the loop, okay? Because you go back into the loop, you can spend a month or two there. You can lose that job. If you know anything about how it works like this. It's like every time you lose a job, you may not get lucky the third time. So now you got to use what little bit of money you put away to exist until that third opportunity, that third employment comes. And then you're starting all over again. So it's a perpetual merry-go-round. So sometimes in life, you just gotta go for yours. You know, that's how I would look at it. If I was younger, of course, if I was younger, not I wouldn't do that now. I mean, I'm definitely way too old to be doing that now. I couldn't even imagine myself being in that circumstance. I mean, it's possible I could have ended up in that circumstance if I didn't take advantage of what I had and use my abilities to better myself. I could have ended up like that. I just would have been older and ended up like that, but I didn't. I took advantage of what I had. I made it work. It was hard. It definitely was hard. It wasn't easy, and here I am today. You know, here I am today. So you know, hold on a minute. This one's fine. I gotta hit a couple. I gotta do some sweating real quick. Hold on. I gotta sweat a couple of the shorties. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this, man. I gotta keep sweating her. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. Nothing. You see what I'm saying? Look at this. Look. I say this to her. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? I don't think you can see. I don't think you can see. It's kind of bright. Let me hit the. Maybe you can see. Maybe you can see now. I don't know. Oh, it's kind of bright. Maybe damn, you can't even see it. Anyway, this one girl. There's one girl that I've been sweating. I say to her, she asked me something. Well, I said to her something, and she said, "Yup." She gave me the short answer. "Yup, HBU." I said, "Wonderful, just chilling." I said, "You free today?" And she left me on read. She ain't fucking with me. She ain't fucking with me. She fine too. She's super bad. Super. It's kind of funny because I know some things about her that I'm like, yo, we know you a freak. Why you acting like this? But I can't tell her I know that. I can't blow the spot up like that. But this is what I'm talking about. It's just not busting like that, man. How it should go down, it should be like the way that black woman describes it, it should be 100% compliance. And I don't know anybody that it works like that for. Even the white dudes are struggling and getting beat up. You just don't hear about it though. Like there's a white dude, like I told you, he got arrested. He found out his girl that's living with him was working in the bar. He goes to the bar, he tears the bar up looking for her. Nobody's at the bar though. Then he goes home. He calls her and he shows her that he's burning all her clothes because she ain't come home yet. So he's burning all her clothes. And so here you right. So that's a white dude. So I don't know. When they found him, he was on the ground. He was beat up. He looked like he got jumped. It's crazy. But so I'm just saying that it's a bigger story. It's a bigger story than what they're telling you, man. It's definitely a bigger story than what they're telling you. And maybe that black woman, maybe in her rant, she's in on it. I'm gonna talk about this shit because from the outside looking in, it look like they busting, but it takes a lot of work to get to that level. It takes a lot of work, and you don't really have no control over it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no control over it. It works. It works both ways. You know, if the woman, if the woman is, if the woman is unhappy with you, so you gotta find a woman that's gonna be happy with you. Not every woman is going to be happy with you anywhere you go. You know, it's just the way it is. You just gotta accept it. So that's all I gotta say for tonight. Um, Again, just the understand that the freedom that if you're currently out here in the world and you're traveling, doing your thing wherever you're at, as a black man, as an African American man, Understand that the freedom you enjoy right now, the quote unquote best choice. Well, this is the next best choice. This ain't the best choice, right? This is the next best choice. The best choice would be to stay in America and demand a certain level of respect, demand a certain lifestyle. But again, for African American men, we don't run that country, so that's pointless to even think about that. But the white guys are going to be doing it real soon. Just wait and see. Um, they just ain't rub us out enough yet. They still trying to rub us out. They ain't rub us out all the way. When they rub out all the black men or the African American men, when they rub us out, then there's nobody left but the white dudes, and then the white dudes got to deal with it more intensely. Cause like, let me see if I can find this for you. Let me show you how it really works in America. Let me show you let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this for you. Uh, I let me see. I want to show you guys how this shit really works in America. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see if I can find. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how they getting down in America and why we being played. Because when you think about dating, right? So there's dating, and then there's actually let me see, is this it? So there's dating, and then let me see. Okay, yeah. So on. Let me show you what's going on right now in white America, because this isn't going on in black America, and African Americans ain't doing this. But I've seen this before, because other cultures get it. Other cultures get it, and this is the problem when you have an outlier society. African Americans and Black Americans. I don't know if you understand the difference. So you got African Americans who are like, we are people who our ancestry was enslaved in that country, and so we've been there forever. And you got the Black Americans who are like everyone else who came over there through immigration. The Black Americans. Now the Black Americans kind of get lumped into African Americans, but they be, quick to say I'm Nigerian, I'm Yoruba, I'm Jamaican, I'm West Indian. They quick to say all that. I'm not no Black American. I'm not no African American, but they're called that, and then they're kind of like lumped into us, right? But maybe they do this in Jamaica, or maybe they do this in the West Indies, or maybe they do this in Haiti, or maybe they do this in African cultures. I haven't seen it. I've only seen this type of thing in Korea, and I've only seen it in white America. So see, in a way, there's no there's so you got to read some Nelly Fuller Jr. to really understand what I'm going to say. There's no dating in African American society. It's either you're getting married or you're not, right? There's no because dating is a casual thing. Dating is like an old thing called courtship, and courtship is supposed to be mentored by the elders of the family, an auntie, an uncle, a structured family, which we also don't have, right? So the ideal of a date for African Americans is that you go out, go to a movie, get some dinner in a movie, whatever. You go roller skate, whatever it is, and then you go back and you smash, and then that's it. And maybe you see each other again, maybe you don't, but the high percentages you don't see each other again, right? Because there has to be an underlying foundation to build that relationship around. It has to be some type of support, some type of role model, expectation. Now, let me show you this real quick because this is what you got to understand. It's not necessarily what it looks like. you're being bamboozled. You're being hoodwinked because this is how they think. Okay. So real quick, right? Quick. What's happening is you have and this happens all across America. Every university, every college, all the white ones, right? So you have the sorority and the fraternities, right? What they do is they do like some type of interaction between the two, male and females, and they took it one step further. They just removed the whole the whole subjective thing about attractiveness, right? That's a blind date. That's a bunch of women behind the door, and the guys line up in random order, and then they're like, okay, 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 and they just go like that, and that's it. And that's probably someone who, like, there's a high probability that marriages are going to form for that. The next upper class families are going to form for that, right? This is how your next bosses are going to meet. Okay, the people that you work for, this is how they're going to tell you that they met. And it's built around the Greek system, the Greek fraternity and sorority system. That's the foundation. Now, I went to a HBCU. I went to a university, and I went to two universities. I went to a HBCU. I went to Wilberforce University, and I went to Wright State University for Air Force ROTC. I was going to go into the Air Force, excuse me, and be an officer and all that shit. Before I came to my senses, I came to my senses. But anyway, I didn't see none of that shit at the HBCU. We didn't have none of that shit. At the HBCU, it was so cutthroat. Like getting a girl was super duper cutthroat, and it was crazy. It was such. I wasn't even prepared for it. I was like one of those guys that was like we had this one dude, and he was like he was like the oldest freshman. He was like we used to call him the world's oldest freshman because he was a freshman forever. I don't even know how he still kept coming to the school, but he never got enough credits to maturate. Like he been going to the school for like 7 years. He only had enough credits to be a freshman. But somehow they keep letting him come back. His name was what was his fucking name? Like Theodore or some shit. Cornelius or some shit, right? A real country dude. And he would say, so okay, so you had like this orientation period where you couldn't have company, you couldn't have co-ed company. So the girls couldn't have guys in the dorms, and the guys couldn't have girls in the dorms. So Wilberforce is a Presbyterian university, so they don't really play around with that fornicate and stuff too much. So they had like this orientation period. So it was just us freshmen up there for a minute. So it was the freshman guys and the fresh, but it was still cutthroat. It was so cutthroat. But then, it got worse when the upperclassmen came. Because then all the girls that were freshmen, they wanted the older guys, like all of them. So then it got really cutthroat, right? But then it was like, oh, they're going to take off the orientation where now you can have company. And you know what that means? So the dude Cornelius, that was his name, Cornelius. The dude Cornelius, he would say to us guys, he was like, so he would tell all the guys, he was like, Friday you can have company or they can have company, and because you share a room with someone, it's like either your man's and your girl and her roommate, or something like that, right? And he was like, it's gonna be a lot of dudes sitting outside because you ain't gonna have nobody that you're gonna be with, so you ain't gonna have, because then because most of the other girls they already ran off with the upperclassmen dudes. They got apartments and cars and all that, so they done ran off with those guys. So now me, I got lucky. I ain't even gonna lie, I got lucky. I was sweating bullets, but I got lucky. I stole me one. I stole me another dude's girl without even trying. Like I stole his girl the night before it was going down. Like everybody was looking at me to be one of those guys in that group. And I beat that. I just got lucky. I got so lucky. But as you can see, all these years later, this was like in the 90s. So you figure you're talking about like 10 years. No, you're talking about 5 years, 20. So like 30 years later, and they probably have been doing this at white universities and white colleges for fucking 100, 200 years. They still pairing up. So what I'm saying is, if you really want to date in America, you got to go to college. You have to be in a community, and you have to be a part of a foundation that supports that. If you just got out of high school and you're not going to college and you're trying to play this social game and just a bunch of flunkies, a bunch of mediocre people just running around, well, guess what? The women are just as mediocre if they're not in college. But they don't want no mediocre dude. They're already trying to go right into the hypergamy. They're already trying to go right into it. And let me tell you something, for black women, hypergamy doesn't exist. There are no rich people for them to marry. There are no rich black men for them to marry. There's no rich any man for them to marry. That's why they really complain about the athletes with the white women, because they know they can't marry those athletes. They can't even get a date with those athletes, right? And even if they could, it wouldn't matter because it's still not enough for them. It's still not enough black athletes that are successful anyway. So, but as you can see, it's not that dating is dead in America. It's just it's dead for you. So if you still playing around and you still out here, if you a lurker in the travel space, you a troll, you got one toe in the water and you scared to jump in the deep end. You got your emotions built around bullshit, which relates to how you feel about me, and you ain't getting nowhere. You understand it's October, nigga. It's October. I told you two things was gonna happen. I told you two things was gonna happen in January. I'm gonna find that video. I told you two things was gonna happen in January. I was gonna be way ahead, and you was gonna be in the same place. I told you that. And now it's November actually right now. Actually November. And look at you. You still in the same place. You know what I'm saying? You know? So I just wanted you guys to understand very clearly that listen, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this travel YouTube stuff much longer. Surprise! I got a surprise for y'all. I'm not gonna do this travel YouTube stuff much longer because I feel I'm putting way too much focus on it, and I need to put the focus on other things. I got my I got my 2026 collection dropping. I'm investing a lot of money in that. Like just for me, just for the wardrobe for me, I'm investing a lot of money in it. Like just the wardrobe to have on display for me. Like the stuff that I'm gonna wear all the time. I'm putting a lot of work into it, a lot of money, a lot of work. So I gotta focus on that. So I'm about to stop this, break this down, and just because I'm not getting what I think. I'm not getting the level of respect I deserve. There's too many lurkers and trolls and too many people up in their emotions about sucker ass niggas and faggot ass beefs and all kinds of goofy shit. There's all kinds of goofy weird shit. I got people stalking me and all kind. I gotta get bodyguards now if I want to go out. I gotta do a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's crazy. I got real bodyguards. They right around here somewhere. Don't worry about that. But I got real bodyguards because it's like this is getting out of control. And it wouldn't be that bad if I was pulling in 50 grand a month. If I was getting the money doing content, it wouldn't be that bad. But I'm not getting the money. Now I gotta spend money on extra shit. I told you, next year it's gonna be 2026. I'm gonna be so far out ahead of the game. I won't even need to concern myself with this. I'm doing charity right now. I'm like the dude at the Salvation Army ringing the bell to give you a free meal. And you're looking at the free meal like y'all could do better. Like y'all could go to Benny Hanna and you ain't got $5 in your pocket. It's crazy, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's like, you still following behind dudes who got a bum couches and other guys Airbnbs, and you're fascinated by that. Like that fascinates you too much. That's scary to me. I don't see how you're still fascinated by that because I can tell you right now, it is highly likely that 2026 is not going to change for these guys. They still going to be broke, and they all the way broke. They broker. Like you could at least get them $5 grand a month. You could at least get them to 60,000 a year in 2026. At least give them that. But it looked like a lot of them just gonna be broke. Or the ones that are already broken is gonna be broken. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how a logical aspect is. I want you to think about the future. 2026 is coming. 2027 is coming. In 2027, you still gonna be following these dudes who are bumming couches off of other guys' trips. You're still gonna be impressed by that. That's gonna be cool for you. I don't understand, but I know because I can see the future. I know that that's what's gonna happen. That's exactly how it's gonna be. You know, that's exactly what's gonna. And I don't want to see that. So that's the other reason too. The other thing is I don't want to see. I don't want to see the lack of growth. It's such a lack of growth. You know what I mean? Right now in the travel space, there's no growth, and it's cool. We having fun. We having a good time. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help people succeed. If they, if they need some intelligence and they need some help, or they need some investment. I got a couple of chippers. I got a little bit of time. I'm willing to help them. I don't want to see no one else falter. I personally don't think we can afford it. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good look at all. Not with all this huffing and puffing and beating on the chest. You know, I do know there's only one ninja who I will vindictively stand over them and drink champagne at their downfall. I'll be like, pop that shit, drink that champagne, but but otherwise, it's like, yeah, I don't think we really need to hear about that happening. But again, I can't stay stagnant. This is really stagnant for me. I did it for a whole year, 2 years. I think I did this. I did this for like 2 years. So I'm good. I'm good. One thing you can learn for free is that if you commit to something and you complete it, like you follow through, whether it succeeds or fails, that's an accomplishment. That's how you build your confidence. That's how you get out of this stage of learned helplessness. See, a lot of you don't even understand that where you're at right now is because of learned helplessness. Let me put this in the box for you. Look this up. Look this up. Helpless, learned helplessness, right? I think that's what it's called. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right. Yeah, learn helplessness. So look that up because that's really where a lot of you are at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you are stuck there right now. And until you commit to something and see it through, succeed or fail, you're never going to be able to break out of it. And I'm telling you, man, like you don't got no more time left. All right, we're back. Raining again. It's like crazy stupid storm out here right now. I'm about to get out of here if I get stuck because it's gonna rain all night. I don't even understand why it's raining so much here because it's not even a rainy season. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, you guys ain't got no more chances, man. Ain't got no more time, no more chances. Time's up. You're out of chances. So I ain't even gonna really harp on it no more. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Um, that's all I can do. I've done all I can do. You know, I'm not gonna do no more. So I'm gonna be focusing on getting back to my clothing brand. You know, next year we got the new fits coming out. I'm gonna be looking the freshest you've ever seen. Got some new glasses. I might even start wearing my contacts again. But so next year is gonna be a big year for me, man. Big year for me. I can't wait. Really, really excited to bring something new to the fashion world. So I'm gonna be wrapping this up. You know, if I do even come on here, it would just be very sporadic. It would be like I would just be coming on here just for you know like doing like different type of trips, like just like more like the pool villa stuff, right? So anything that I show you, it would be because I'm showing you some super duper high end luxury type of trip. Yachts, Learjets, um, the craziest villas to stay at, like stuff like that. I wouldn't just come on here just to have discourse, and I wouldn't post the regular diggler videos. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do stuff like that no more. Everything that I do, if I do continue, I would only do maybe like twice a month, and it would be super duper high end. I would just post something twice a month or something super duper high end and leave it at that. I wouldn't even waste my time because you know it's apparent to me that it's what you bring. I say it like this. I think if you're only bringing emptiness, that's what people want. People don't want to be complex. People don't want to get. They just want to get nice. They just want to get fucked up. They want Johnny Walker Red. I do Johnny Walker Blue. They want Johnny Walker Red. I do Johnny Walker Blue. I don't do less complex stuff. The stuff that I do is very complex, very classy, very high end. That's just the way it is. And the fact that it regurgitates itself across different continents, across different countries and cities, and I got a network, and I got man, it's crazy, right? It's crazy, but I got a network of people everywhere I go. So any country I go to, just about, or I can go to any country and set up that network literally overnight. So yeah, so I'm not gonna put so much energy into this. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's been good kicks, but it's just like I gotta get back to doing what I gotta do. What my real purpose is, and I'm bringing something to the table. Man, I can't wait for you to see it. 2026, the winner circle. the year of the, I want to say the year of the wolf, but the year of the winner circle, where like they won't be able to resist. If they resist, they're gonna just look crazy. You know? So let me hop off of here, man. I'm gonna talk to you later. Um, and if you want to contribute to the channel, you got the Cash App and the PayPal over there in the chat. If you want to be able to comment, most of the time you're gonna have to click on the membership so that you can comment, get you a membership and you can comment. It's like $5 a month, something like that. But I'm taking that away too. So, and if you want to comment afterwards, you got to be subscribed for like a day or so, or you already got to be subscribed. So I'm definitely making this outreach and all this stuff more complicated to get at. You know, it's definitely gonna be harder because I need more constructive engagement. I don't need just all kinds of silly shit. You know, I need more constructive engagement. So all right, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here, and I'm gonna talk to you later. Peace.